Northern Light Webcasting Network is on the air. Today, we proudly present the National Barrel Horse Association Local District Show. This event was recorded live from the Dunn County Fairgrounds in Menomonie, Wisconsin. And now, out to the Dunn County Fairgrounds for today's equestrian event.
Hello and welcome to the Dunn County Fairgrounds in Menomonie, Wisconsin. And Rick Olson along with Dan Petschow, and we're getting ready to bring you NBHA Barrels and Poles in an event sponsored by the Menomonie Saddle Club. It's a beautiful day for riding today, and the arena here at the fairgrounds is kind of tucked right into a corner of the fairgrounds, and we're getting ready to start things off. Ann Monroe is up above us on the camera, and so we're going to have a great day of some equestrian events. We're going to start off with the 2D pole bending. Yeah, 2D pole bending is coming up next as they're making the final preparations to have the arena set. And we'll have that 2D pole bending right after this timeout. You're watching NBHA Poles and Barrels from the Dunn County Fairgrounds in Menomonie, Wisconsin on NLWN-TV.
Loomis Lazy L Tack and Trailer in Mondovi, Wisconsin is a full-service trailer dealership for aluminum and steel trailers. Lazy L can set you up with trailers from horse and livestock to utility and flatbed. They also offer fastline utility and cargo-made cargo trailers as well. Whatever you need to haul, Loomis Lazy L Tack and Trailer has the right trailer for you. Call Loomis Tack and Trailer at 1-800-926-5309 or visit them at W394 Highway 10 in Mondovi, Wisconsin.
Welcome back to the Dunn County Fairgrounds, and Rick Olson along with Dan Petschow as we've got NBHA 2D barrels, or 2D poles. Let me say this right, 2D poles to get things started off with, and then we have a full day of barrel racing. We have 23 pole benders, and here's our first rider. This is Hannah Beers on board Cinco. Cinco comes down, makes a turn at the bottom, starts weaving its way back up. Turns at the top. And coming back down. And looks like Hannah's going to have a time of 37.068. That's going to bring up Whitney Lutke. Whitney Lutke. And Whitney's on board Josie. Here comes Whitney. Josie is a little hesitant. And backs right out of the picture. Here they come. And Whitney takes Josie all the way down to the end, starts the weave back. Makes the turn at the bottom. Nipped the pole, but it stayed up. Turn at the top. And here comes Whitney for home. And a time of 23.369. And that currently has Whitney Lutke in first place. And that's going to bring up Bella Halverson on CYS Double Trickery. So here comes Bella Halverson. The gate is open. Here comes Bella. And a turn at the top of the course. Leading her way back through and got around. Almost got a little too long for those barrels, but she was okay. Makes a turn at the top. Coming back down now. And a time of 25.506. And that puts her in second place. Caitlin Telejohn is our next rider. Here comes Caitlin. A little hesitation there, but now they're out and going. Caitlin's on board Bell. Bell goes very wide. This is probably going to be a broken pattern.
Good job, Caitlin.
Turns at the bottom. Works her way back up to the top. Turns at the top. Coming back down. Let's see if they give her a broken pattern or whether this is going to be an actual time. 41.749. And they gave her the time. 41.749. That keeps her out of the top three. Now we have Katie Thompson on a smoking effort. Is our next rider. Here comes Katie. Katie circling. And down the course she goes. Turning at the bottom, making her way back up to the top. If you're wondering where Dan is, he's furiously writing over here just to the side of me, trying to get the draw sheets arranged. And the time is 27.592 for Katie Thompson. 27.592. And that puts her currently into third place. And they're going to take a bit of a timeout to drag the arena, so we'll take one here too. You're watching NBA or NBHA. The NBA. I'm waiting for the Bucks to keep playing. NBHA 2D barrels or 2D poles. I'll say it right before we're done today. NBHA 2D poles on NLWN-TV.
Let NLWN-TV and the Northern Light Webcasting Network take you out to the ball game. Our next game will be on June 27th when the Cavaliers take on the Eau Claire Rivermen in a doubleheader from Carson Park. Live coverage on the Northern Light Webcasting Network audio service and on NLWN-TV begins with the In the Dugout show at 12:10 p.m. That's live Cavalier baseball on Sunday, June 27th on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
And we're back here at the Dunn County Fairgrounds, continuing with the 2D poles. See, I told you I'd say it right. And this is Tara Sanborn on Gino's Smart Little Tiv. Makes that turn at the top. Whoops! Missed a pole. Knocked it down. Knocked down another one with her hind end. If you're going to knock down one, you might as well knock down two. She'll finish the pattern, but it will be in no time. She would have had a 45.754. And they're going to take a little bit of time here to get the pole set. Pole setting crew is busily going out there to get things set up. And we have, oh, they're giving penalties, no times. So it's 55.754. She had 10 seconds in penalties for 2 knockdown poles. Although, to be honest with you, I think she should have had a no time for a broken pattern. But I'm not a judge, so they're making sure all the poles are lined up nice and straight. That's going to bring us up to Larry Amundsen riding next, and he's riding I Got a Big Block. This will be Larry Amundsen. Here comes Larry. And there he goes. He's looking to beat that time of 23.369. Gets the turn at the top, is working his way back down. Turn at the bottom. And the turn at the top, nudges the pole, but it stays up. And 25.668. And that will put him into 3rd place. So Stacy Schultz is up, and Stacy's riding Hold the Royal Chick. Hold the Royal Chick. You know, sometimes you have to wonder what goes into the name of a horse.
I have that information.
What is the information you have for us?
So it all goes back to their bloodline. So every little part of that is the fathers, grandfathers, great-grandfathers. So the chick part would go back to Chickalina, which would be probably now a great-grandfather of this one.
And we get a time of 27.725 for Stacy Schultz. That's going to bring up Reggie Gibson on Dream Sierra. So Chick goes back to Chickalina.
Yeah, which goes back to Smart Chickalina.
Okay. And what about the Hold the Royal part?
I'm not for sure. Hold on.
And here's Reggie Gibson on Dream Sierra. Makes the turn at the top. Smoothly coming back down through the poles. Turns at the bottom, nudges that bottom pole, but it stays up. Going back up, makes a turn at the top. This could be a good time. 23.751. That'll put her into 2nd place. So now we have Dylan Michaels on Willie's Fancy Girl. Dylan Michaels. Here comes Dylan. She makes the turn at the top, coming back down. Pretty wide at the bottom. And a time of 32.626. So that means, as we stand right now, third place is currently Bella Halverson on CYS Double Trickery. Second place is Reggie Gibson on Dream Sierra. And currently sitting in first place, Whitney Lutke on Josie with a time of 23.369. And they're going to drag the arena, so we're going to take a brief time out. You're watching NBHA 2D polls on the Northern Light Webcasting Network, NLWN-TV.
Hi, this is Ashley Larson, and I'm here if you or your horse are looking for any training in barrel racing and pole bending. We here at Larson Ranch are here to help. I bring my experience as a national contender in collegiate and high school rodeo events to Larson Ranch just south of Mondovi. I specialize in training for barrel racing, pole bending, as well as other rodeo events like goat tying and breakaway roping. Our training has helped our students place in the top 4 in the state as well as top finishes in the nation. Check out Larson Ranch on our Facebook page for more contact information. We're excited to see you at Larson Ranch.
And we're back here at the Dunn County Fairgrounds in Menomonie with some NBHA 2D polls. We have barrels coming up in a little bit. Dad, you found out some more information about horse names.
Horse names. Yeah, just going back to the one that we were talking about before.
Hold the Royal Chick.
Yeah, here's just some of the blood signs out of that. It goes back to Royal Chickalina, which goes back to Smart Chickalina on the top side, and Royal Jody Bar on the bottom side. So that's how you come up with the names.
Entering the arena is Leuven Hadlick. On board, Stan. Now, see, that's a name I can get. Stan. That's what, that one makes sense to me. And they make the turn at the top. Nice ride back down through the poles. Now gets the turn at the bottom and going back up again. And the turn at the top. 23.769. That will put him into third place. That brings up Joseph Muzinski on Wiley. Here he comes. Turn at the top, starts coming back down. Turn at the bottom, now going, it's weaving back up. And a clean time of 27.408. 27.408 for Joseph Muzinski. That's going to bring up Patty Hovland, and this is a horse we've seen quite a few times, Dan. Has a Nick Barr legend. And Dan is still very busily trying to write down the draw sheets for us. He's got like 80 some odd names to write down, so 98 names to write down. There's Patty on board. Has a Nick Barr legend. Quickly down to the top. Makes the turn. Patty wants to challenge for that lead. Nice clean run. Here they come back down. and a 21.896 and a new leader. That puts Patty Hovland in first place, and Dylan Michaels is coming up. Dylan's riding Charm Salty Dunn. And here they go. Little hesitation at the top. Well, it's going to take some riding to match that time of Patty Hovland on Heza Nick Bar Legend. But we oftentimes see Patty Hovland sitting near the top. Oh, they'll win a pole. That'll be a 5-second penalty. All right, 27.938 plus 5 is 32.938. Okay, Megan Widstrom will be the next one up after they're making sure that the poles are set up straight. Megan Widstrom is riding Daisy Duke. I'm sure Bo and Luke have got to be somewhere nearby. And of course, can't forget the General Lee. That's the car, Dan. Dan had this confused look on his face. Yeah. Roscoe P. Coltrane's dog. All right, here's Megan Widstrom. Megan makes her turn at the top. It goes pretty wide. Holy cow. Daisy Duke did not want to make that turn the way you're supposed to. Now she's got it back under control. Turn at the bottom. Get Daisy to settle down. And the turn at the top. And hats off to Megan for getting Daisy to finish the course. 55.273. And that means it's time to drag the arena. So the way it looks right now, Reggie Gibson sitting in third place on Dream Sierra. Second place is Whitney Lutke on Josie. And first place, Patty Hovland on Heza Nick Bar Legend with a time of 21.896. We'll be back with some more 2D polls right after this timeout on NLWN-TV.
When I was in foster care, I never knew when I would have to move, so I always had my suitcase ready to go. Then one day, I was adopted. My new parents opened their hearts and home to me. My parents cook my favorite breakfast for me every morning. My parents take me on trips I never thought I would go on. They gave me a home and an even better reason to use that suitcase. My parents aren't perfect, but they're perfect for me.
Back once again at the Dunn County Fairgrounds in Menomonie. 2D polls, NBHA style. And we continue with that with Paige Hayes riding Cowboy. Here comes Paige. Here goes Paige. Makes the turn at the top. Cowboy gets a little bit wide on that first turn, but otherwise it's been looking pretty clean.
Listen to your leg.
A little wide on the turn at the bottom also, but again, looking good. Turns at the top. 29.278. Dan, this is worse than a Cavaliers game. We have to duck for the foul rocks. 29.278. We had shrapnel coming in that time. All right, we're back to Patty Hovland again. This time it's Nick's Dashin' Diamonds. And Nick's Dashin' Diamonds doesn't look too excited about coming in. Says, I'm taking you for a ride, Patty. Here's Patty. She's coming back around. Hey, Nick's Dashin' Diamond is in the arena. And then Nick's Dashin' Diamond settles right down. Well, maybe not. If anybody can get this horse to do what she wants to, it's Patty. And here she goes. Clean turn at the top. Good turn at the bottom. Now working the way back up to the top. Turns at the top, heading for home. And that's a 24.427. Just out of the top three. Brings up Courtney Solberg. And Courtney's riding Chester. Here comes Courtney. There she is. And makes the turn, heads out on the course. Makes the turn at the top. Lost her hat. Turn at the bottom. Turn back at the top again, heading for home. And we have a 26.490. And that should bring up Kendra Manuel on Merlot and Ice. This is Kendra Manuel on Merlot and Ice. Went down the left side, which is perfectly fine. It's just a little backwards from the way most people do it. Now the turn at the bottom. And that turn at the top. And her time is 38.147. And that means it's time to drag the arena one more time. We currently have in third place Reggie Gibson. Second place Whitney Lutke. And in first place, Patty Hovland on Nick Bar Legend with a time of 21.896. And we'll have more 2D polls right after this timeout on NLWN-TV.
When your lawn is looking less than desirable, you need to give it a little pick-me-up. Midwest Environmental Consultants can help. With their Morning Sun Fertilizer, your lawn will get just what it needs. Morning Sun Fertilizer is non-chemical and organic. It's suitable for both urban and rural settings. Call Midwest Environmental Consultants at 715-586-1302 for a free estimate. That's Midwest Environmental Consultants, beautifying the lawns of the Chippewa Valley.
Rick Olson, along with Dan Petchow and Monroe on the camera, and we're back here at the Dunn County Fairgrounds, getting ready to wrap up the 2D polls at this NBHA and IBRA event. Our next rider is Gracie Olson on Phoenix. Oh, so Gracie already went. All right, so then we must have Peschel Kessel. Or is it Casey Peschel?
Casey Patriot.
Casey Peschel. All right, that's who we have. And Dan, this is Casey, right?
This is Casey Patriot.
And there goes a pole, and knocking the pole right out of the stand even. If you're going to knock one over, you might as well do it in style, which she did. She gets a 5-second add-on. So it'll be a total of a 29.563. That should bring Kennedy Manuel on board trigger. Yep, now they have it right. So Kennedy Manuel on board trigger will be our next rider.
Kennedy, I'll stand right where you should go.
Here she comes.
Good job.
And trigger got a little bit wide. The Kennedys got trigger going through. Turn at the bottom. Working the way back up. Turn at the top. And a 31.589.
Good job, Kennedy.
And that's going to bring Kendra Manuel on Bailey H. King. This is Kendra Manuel. There she comes, getting a lead into the arena. That turn at the top, working her way back down. Now the final turn at the top. Have a nice looking time. 23.754. Just out of the top three by 3/100ths. Check that, 3/1000ths of a second out of the top three. So that's going to wrap it up for the 2D polls. And they're going to get ready to start some barrel racing. We'll have the Pee-wees first, but wrap up the finals in the 2D polls. Third place went to Reggie Gibson on Dream Sierra. Second place to Whitney Lutke on board Josie. And first place to Patty Hovland on Hesitant Bar Legend with a time of 21.896. We'll have the Pee-wee barrels right after this timeout. You're tuned to NBHA Poles and Barrels on NLWN-TV.
This is the story of a boy who was very sensitive to lights and sounds. So he built secret hiding places where nothing could get in. The boy didn't like looking people in the eye. It made him feel uncomfortable. One day, he found out he had something called autism. His family got him help. And slowly, he learned how to live with it better.
Early intervention can make a lifetime of difference. Learn the signs at autismspeaks.org.
And welcome back to the Dunn County Fairgrounds. We're getting ready for the Pee-wee barrels. Rick Olson along with Dan Petchow, who's still busily writing down names. Ann Monroe up on the camera. And we're going to have Evelyn Lazowski on board Annie. As soon as they get the "let's do it" signal. We're still waiting for the go-ahead from the tower. And so we're still waiting on Evelyn Lazowski, but she's waiting. She got a thumbs up. This is Evelyn Lazowski coming in right now. This is the Pee-wee barrels. Yeah, it's a good time to go through once again for those of you that might be new to this. Riders either have to make 2 right-hand turns and a left turn, or 2 left-hand turns and a right turn. Or do I have that backwards?
No, right. 2
Well, it's 2 of one and 1 of the other. It's just what order they're in.
one left to right or 1 right to left.
Evelyn went to the right the first time, made a right-hand turn around that, then a left-hand turn around the left barrel, and a left-hand turn around the top barrel, or the third barrel, and she comes in with a time of 34.401. 34.401. That's going to bring up Eleanor Lazowski on board Oreo. And here comes Eleanor. Now Eleanor is going right down the middle, but she's going to go over to the left side. Well, maybe not. Yes, she is. Oreo just made that first turn fancy, that's all. Now back over to the right side. And it'll be a right-hand turn up around the third barrel. So it doesn't matter which direction you go first. And here comes Eleanor. And Eleanor finishes with a 32.729. That puts her in first place. And Morley, is that Ginter? Gintner, okay. These are all handwritten, so a little harder to read. Morley Gintner on board Bow. Looking to beat that time of 32.729. Around that right barrel. Now heading over to the left barrel. Yeah, it's a lot of fun to watch these real young ones just getting the hang of it. Around that top barrel. Good looking time coming up for Morley. Morley Gintler gets a 19.276. We will see people, that's our new leader, by the way. We will see people in the open not get times that good. Blake Cole is next up, and Blake is riding blue. Here comes Blake. And Blake is going to get led. She's got her pink and teal helmet, and Mom leading her around. I'm assuming that's Mom. And that third barrel turn, and here they come. $51.628. And a nice hand for Blake Cole. On board Charm. Cassidy Nelson is next on blue. Here comes Cassidy. Cassidy getting led. I'm assuming that's Dad. Around the right barrel. And the left barrel. Third barrel. And a time of 42.015. 42.015. Raymond Stanley is next up. Raymond's on Cindy Lou. Oh, that's what that says, huh? Cindy Lou. We'll stay with Raymond here. Cindy Lou is a mini. And during the open arena, when they could just kind of ride around and warm up a little bit, it was awfully fun watching him ride this. He was having a great time bouncing along on Cindy. Cindy says, "To heck with this." Yeah, Cindy really liked that swat there at the end. And Cindy says, "I know where that gate is." And Dad almost went down.
There you go. Turn.
And he broke the timer.
Watch where you're going. Let her go. Hands down, let her go.
And Raymond's having a heck of a ride.
There you go, buddy.
It'll be a no time, but But he did get Cindy Luhu to get all the way through the ride. So that's going to bring up Madeline Pauley. And Madeline's riding Peppermint. And Peppermint says, I'm not sure I want to go that way. Well, they don't have the gate open yet either. Peppermint knew what she was doing. Here we go.
You're going.
There you go, honey.
You're going. Like. Hey, turn.
You're on. There you go.
And around that right barrel.
Leg.
And over to the left barrel.
Turn.
Nice wide turn.
You're going.
And we're going to get a time of 29.406. That will put her into second place. And Kendi Manuel on trigger is up.
This is the government calling. You're running illegal.
There you go. Yeah.
And Kennedy's up.
Ready? On your right. Turn. There you go.
Kennedy Manuel on trigger.
Come on. There you go.
She's up around the top. Third barrel.
There you go, girl.
18.632. That's our new leader. Kennedy Manuel on board trigger.
Come on, Gracie girl. Come on, Grace. You got it, girl.
Brings up Gracie Olson on board Phoenix.
Turn.
Wide turn around that second barrel. Up to the third barrel. And we'll get a 19.881. That should be enough for third place. And Morgan Cole is up on charm.
There you go.
We're still waiting for Morgan Cole on board charm. And Morgan is in. Takes that right barrel. Hey, I want to remind you that to join NLWN-TV on June 28th as we bring you an NBHA local district show sponsored by the Wisconsin Girls Barrel Racing Association from the Double H Arena in Mondovi. This event will be recorded live on June 26th, and our coverage on the 28th will begin at 7 p.m. That's next weekend. Actually, it'll be a week from tonight it'll be on the air. So Morgan Cole finishing things up in the Pee Wee barrels, 52.463. And so that means in the Pee Wee barrels, third place went to Gracie Olson on board Phoenix. Second place went to Morley Gittner on Bow. And in first place, Kennedy Manuel on board Trigger with a time of 18.632. They're going to get the arena set for the NBHA Open Barrels. You're tuned to NBHA Poles and Barrels on NLWN-TV.
You're tuned to the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV. We use advertising revenue to make this service available to you. If you have a business and would like to get your message out to our ever-increasing audience, give us a call at 715-563-1749. We'll be happy to discuss our budget-friendly advertising packages with you. Get your business noticed on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV by calling 715-563-1749.
And we're back here at the Dunn County Fairgrounds for NBHA Open Barrels. This is sponsored by the Menomonie Saddle Club. And the first one up is Mackenzie Benda on one-way ticket out. It's a beautiful 71 degree Saturday afternoon here in Menomonie. Of course, you're watching it on Monday night, but Saturday afternoon in Menomonie, beautiful weather right now. I don't think that Ann up in the on the camera crow's nest up there believes that it's only 71 degrees out. Alright, here we go now with the NBHA Open class. We take a look at the starting gate, and we're looking for Mackenzie Benda on one-way ticket out. And here we go. This is Mackenzie Benda. This is the Open 4D Barrels. She makes that right turn, then the left turn, and a left turn around the third barrel. Knocks the third barrel down. She has a 16.78 or 798. So it should be a 21.798 if they're adding the 5. Now they're having some discussion over at the polls. And it appears as though they were going to, they didn't drag as they were planning on. Now they're having second thoughts. See if the camera can be kind of focused over toward that scoring tower. I think they're still discussing it over there. And our two tractor operators are heading over toward the tractors. So I think they are going to drag the arena, which was probably the plan before Mackenzie made her run. And she's going to get a rerun if she wants it. And so they are now dragging the arena. So while they do that, we'll take a quick time out here. You're watching 4D Open Barrels on NLWN-TV.
Being prepared is a part of who you are. But it's especially important in the case of a disaster. Be informed about possible emergencies in your area. Make a plan that covers where you go in an emergency. Build a kit with the things you need to survive. There's no one more capable of planning for your situation than you.
Start your plan today. Go to ready.gov/myplan.
And we are now back here and getting ready for the 40 open barrels now that they have dragged. And so we'll have Mackenzie Benda trying it again. And she goes around the right barrel. Second barrel with the left-hand turn. Left-hand turn around that third barrel. Nice and clean around that third barrel. And a 16.876. Good, respectable time to get things started with Terry Welch is our next rider. GF Hell of a Ride. Something like that. GF Hell of a Ride. Again, these are all handwritten, and thanks to Dan for doing it. So we're waiting on Terry. And here we go. Terry's going to do that left barrel first. The right barrel. And the third barrel comes around, and GF Hell of a Ride slows down, under control, coming down, and we get a time of 23.701. Jenna, is it Linehan? Linehan. VF Fast and Famous. VF Fast and Famous with Jenna Linehan. Here she comes. A little bit of a hoof slip there as they were heading in toward that first barrel. Knocked the second barrel down. That's going to be a 5-second penalty. Round the third barrel. Would have been a good time, 15.922. And evidently it's not a 5-second penalty. It's on no time. Stacy Schultz. Hold the Royal Chick.
Thank you.
So this is Stacy Schultz. Hold the Royal Chick. And an 18.8. Check that, 18.481. 18.481. That puts her in second place. And Olivia Sanborn. Yeah, Olivia Sanborn on Babe in Total Control. Waiting for Olivia. Gate is open. Still waiting on Olivia. Here they go. Olivia takes that right barrel, heads over to the left. And heading for home. 17.666. That's good enough to put her into second place. And that means they're going to drag the arena. So the standings after that first group, we have in third place Stacy Schultz on Hold the Royal Chick. Second place is Olivia Sanborn on Babe in Control. And in first place, Mackenzie Benda on One Way Ticket Out with a time of 16.876. So while they drag the arena, we'll take a time out. You're tuned to Open 4D Barrels on NLWN-TV.
Tune into NLWN-TV on Monday, June 28th, as we bring an NBHA Barrels and Poles event sponsored by the Wisconsin Girls Barrel Racing Association from the Double H Arena in Mondovi, Wisconsin. This event will be recorded on Saturday, June 26th. Our coverage will begin at 7 p.m. on Monday the 28th. NLWN-TV is your home for equestrian events in Wisconsin and Minnesota.
And we're back here at the Dunn County Fairgrounds. Rick Olson along with Dan Petchow, who's busily still writing names down on sheets as we are getting ready to continue with the Open 4D Barrels. NBHA Open 4D Barrels. And we are up to Whitney Lutke. And here goes Whitney. Around that left barrel. Now around the right barrel. Actually, it's backwards. It was around the right barrel and now the left. And now a left turn around the third barrel and heading for home. And she's got a time of 16.702. And that's a new leader. 16.702. Julie Erickson is our next rider. And Julie's called me, or is writing, "Call me Nick's Gypsy." Julie Erickson. She goes around the left barrel now. Up to the third barrel with the left turn. Trying to get a really good time here. This could be a one too. 15.940 and puts her in the lead. 15.940 and that's your new leader. That brings up Sue Albright. And Sue is riding, what a Smiling Leo. Boy, it's a good thing I've seen some of these horses before, because I could never have figured that out if I hadn't. So waiting for Sue Albright. Here goes Sue. Round the right barrel, now over to the left. What'd you say, Dan? About 70% of the riders hit that right barrel first?
Yep, I would say at least.
And Sue comes in with a time of 16.414. And that will be enough to put her into second place. And Alex Wheeler on BA Dash and Comet. Alex Wheeler on BA Dash and Comet. And here comes Alex. Dan knows these guys. He was talking to them just beforehand. A little wide that time on that second barrel. And now driving down to the finish, 17.716. BA Dash and Comet, if I'm not mistaken, is coming off an injury.
Yeah, she did say something.
Yeah, she said something about that. So, it's, all in all, pretty good time for coming off of an injury. And Aubrey Sanborn is riding Scooby-Doo. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo. Yeah, we're looking at a good time, 17.191. So they're going to drag the arena, and as they get ready, let's take a look at the standings. Right now, Whitney Lutke is in third place with Simply Feet. Second place is Sue Albright on What a Smilin' Leo. And currently in first place is Julie Erickson on Call Me Nick's Gypsy with a time of 15.940. While they drag, hey fans, I do want to remind you that our next Cavalier baseball games to be broadcast on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and on NLWN-TV will be on Sunday, June 27th, when the Cavaliers will be hosting their crosstown rivals, the Eau Claire Rivermen, in a doubleheader. We're going to simulcast the games on both the Northern Light Webcasting Network audio service and right here on our YouTube channel, NLWN-TV. The In the Dugout show will be at 12:10 p.m. and live play-by-play will begin at 12:30. That's Cavalier Baseball here on NLWN-TV. Also that same week, just a couple days later, we have some Wednesday night baseball for you. That's right, the Northern Light Webcasting Network audio service and NLWN-TV are excited to bring you some Wednesday night baseball action on Wednesday the 30th when the Eau Claire Cavaliers travel to Osseo to take on the Osseo Merchants. Coverage on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV will begin at 7:10 p.m. with the In the Dugout show, and we plan to carry the fireworks following the game. I'm looking forward to that one, Dan. They're just about done dragging the arena. Let's see if they make one more pass around here. Boy, I think Ann and your dad are having a dance up there on the roof above us. And they're getting things settled down over there on the far side, so we're getting ready to get rolling. We take a look for Kim O'Meara on Western Jetbug. And here she goes, Kim O'Meara. Makes the right-hand turn and the left-hand turn. The left-hand turn around the third barrel. And we're looking at a time of 17.265. That brings up Katie Thompson. And Katie's riding a Smokin' Effort. Smokin' Effort. Still looking to beat that time of 15.940. This is Katie. And it's a 19.568. 19.568. That's going to bring up Jenna Groski. Jenna Groski on VF Alive and striking. So we're waiting on Jenna. Here she goes. Around the right-hand barrel. Ponytail flying as she heads up towards that third barrel. And a 15.882. And that, folks, is your new leader. 15.882. And Lydia Dent is our next rider on Peaks Easy Lazy, the Easy Lady. Peaks Easy Lady. This is rider 14 of 90. How many?
98.
98. We got a ways to go, folks. A lot of riders. Dan just gave me a look like, we're only on 14. Again, Lydia Dent, or Linda Dent. That's Linda. Again, they're handwritten, so sometimes it's hard to tell. Sorry about that, Linda.
Blame it on the rider.
I'll blame it on the rider, yeah. Linda, you secretly wanted to be a Lydia anyway, didn't you? There she goes. Peaks Easy Lady. Around the left side. And the third barrel. 16.671. About 0.2 of a second off of the top three. That's going to bring us to Reggie Gibson on Boot Star Diamond. Reggie Gibson on Boot Star Diamond. And coming down to the finish, 18.294, and the gravel comes flying in at us. 18.294. And they're going to drag the arena, so we'll take a quick time out. You're watching Open 4D Barrels on NLWN-TV.
Hey!
Okay. If you love me enough to tolerate my perfect little pets and all their glorious dander, then of course you'll visit nhtsa.gov/the right seat to make sure I'm in the right car seat.
And we continue with the Open 4D Barrels, NBHA 4D Barrels, from the Dunn County Fairgrounds in Menomonie, sponsored by the Menomonie Saddle Club. Rick Olson along with Dan Petchow and Monroe on the camera. And we are at rider 16, Bella Helverson. And Bella's riding CYS double trickle. or double trickery. We'll blame that on the writer again. CYS double trickery. Double trickery comes flying out of the chute. And we have a 17.947. So Lisa Becker on Pacific Hurley Jet is our next rider, and she's looking to beat that 15.882 that was set by Jenna Grosky. Lisa Becker on board Pacific Hurley Jet. And the end barrel goes down, so I believe that'll be in no time for Lisa. Would have been a 17.132. That's going to bring up Julie Cole on Mr. Bojangles. Wonder if he dances like Mr. Bojangles did. Okay, they have the barrel set, so we're waiting on Julie. Now we're on that second barrel. And we're on the third barrel heading for home. 17.611 for Mr. Bojangles with Julie Cole on board. Missy Spindler is up on Nix My Lady. And now we have Missy Spindler makes that first turn and the second turn. And she gets a time of 17.240. That brings up John Erickson. And John is on Regal Woodrow. A Dalmatian style dog, or horse. Brings it around the third barrel. And gets a time of 19.280. And that means it's time to drag the arena. So we'll take a quick time out here as well. You're tuned to NBHA Open Barrels on the Northern Light Webcasting Network's NLWN-TV.
Honey, what I think you need is a socket wrench.
I played JV basketball.
I'm sorry. I don't think it looks right.
This is good, and it's all good, baby.
Is it really all good?
If you love me enough to routinely test your handyman skills, not to mention the strength of your marriage, then of course you'll visit nhtsa.gov/the-right-seat to make sure I'm in the right car seat.
I'm gonna call my dad.
And we're back here in Menomonie. NBHA Open 4D barrels at the Dunn County Fairgrounds. Getting ready for riders 21 through 25 in this group. And it will start off with Steve Gossie. Dashing Mr. Nick is the horse that he's on. He takes a left barrel first. Now coming over to the right. And coming down, getting a time of 19.073. 19.073 for Steve Gossie. Larry Amundsen is up, and I got a big block. Is Larry's horse. Still waiting for Larry. And Larry takes that left barrel first, now goes over to the right. And a 17.970. Sarah Lizowski is Batman's High Tack. Sarah Lazowski on Batman's High Tack. Here goes Sarah. And Sarah got a time of 18.221. Barb Bauer on Frenchie's Lucky Charm is our next rider. Here comes Barb. And there she goes. Left-hand barrel first. Now a right turn on the right side. And a right turn on the third barrel. And 16.369. And that will put her into third place. That brings up Brooke Barthman on Bringing 60 back. Yeah, I don't have a comment about that one. Bringing 60 back. We'll just stay with that. Brooke Barthman. She's in the arena. And here she goes. $16.771. And so it's time to drag the arena again. And while they do that, we'll take a quick time out. You're tuned to NLWN-TV.
I don't remember how it started.
Go to that.
Our back and forth. It always came back.
Dad!
You probably don't remember what you told me,
That was perfect.
but I heard every word.
And we're back at the Dunn County Fairgrounds to continue with the open 4D barrels. We've got riders 26 through 30 coming up. And out there with us right now is Terry Welch on a Firewater Valentine. Terry heading up to the third barrel. Here she goes. 16.573. That's going to bring up Mackenzie Benda again. She started this whole thing. This time she's on Rule Breaker. She was in the top 3 for quite a while. Now she's looking to beat Jenna Grosky's time of 15.882. Again, this is Mackenzie Benda. And now she starts her run. Goes around that right barrel. And around the left barrel. And coming down under the whip, and 16.553. That brings up Sue Albright on MD Red Hot Dinero. Sue Albright. Albright. Boy, Dan's almost done writing.
Yeah.
Then we'll actually turn on his microphone. He can really say things.
Christmas is getting close too.
He says Christmas is getting close too. All right, Sue Albrecht. MD Red Hot Dinero. $17.010. Whitney Lutke is next up, and she's on Missy. Waiting on Whitney. There we go. She's getting ready to enter. This is Missy that she's riding. And she heads down toward the finish. 17.386. And Taylor Hupert with Tina Bars-Bell is our next rider. Still waiting for Taylor. And here comes Taylor.
There it is, now go!
Looking to beat that time of 15.882.
There it is!
And she made the turn. 16.192. And it should be time to drag the arena again. And so while they do that, let's review the top three riders. In third place right now is Barb Bauer on board Frenchie's Lucky Charm. Second place, Julie Erickson on Call Me Nick's Gypsy. And in first place, Gina Grosky on VF Alive and striking with a time of 15.882. So while they drag the arena, we'll take a timeout. You are watching NBHA Open 4D Barrels on NLWN-TV.
When I was your age, I was just like you, fascinated by stars. But now I get to search for life in the universe. And who knows, maybe life is looking for us too.
So we're like aliens to them?
Yeah. Does anyone want to be a scientist now?
I do.
Awesome. We need more girls in STEM.
Maybe we can find aliens.
And we're getting ready for some more Open 4D Barrels. Riders 31 through 35 are the next ones up, including Sherry Ring on AB Lucky Bart. Here she comes. And we're looking at a time of 16.175. 16.175. Jenna Linehan on Willie Dunick. Okay. Willie Dunick. All right, Willie or Willie not? Willie or Wody? Jenna Linehan. And Willie gets a time of 23.094. That brings Gretchen Pospisil on Rocket Regent. And we're waiting. Here comes Gretchen. Ooh, almost flew out the back of the saddle that time. And Gretchen gets a 16.910. All right, Dylan Michaels on Willie's Fancy Girl. Now they're starting to roll through these a little bit. There goes Dylan. She gets around the third barrel. And a time of 17.775. 17.775. That brings up McKenna Kaczynski. And McKenna's running Sub-Zero. Is that Joe?
Jack. Sub-Zero Jack.
Sub-Zero Jack. My writer left the last letter off.
No, that one's a JAC.
Oh, okay. And McKenna gets around that third barrel. 17.952. And it's time to drag the arena once again. And while they do that, we'll take a timeout on NLWN-TV.
There are 16 million children struggling with hunger in America. That's 1 in 5 daughters, sons, neighbors, and classmates who don't know where their next meal is coming from. Yet billions of pounds of good food go to waste every year. It's time we do something about it. Feeding America is a nationwide network of food banks that helps provide meals to millions of kids and families in need. Visit feedingamerica.org to help them feed even more. Together, we can solve hunger. Together, we're feeding America.
And we continue the 4D barrels. Sherry Wright on Ms. Smart Sail and Dock is our next rider. And had a pretty nice shot of some of the other people waiting and watching over on the side rail as Ms. Smart Sail and Dock is out and running with Sherry Wright on board. And here comes Sherry. 15.9999. Well, I might have thrown an extra 9 in there. 15.999. And that is not quite, yes it will. That'll put her into third place. Mike Gintner is our next rider. And Mike is on Dirt Road King. And here goes Mike around that right barrel. And he gets a time of 16.833. Emily, is that Bueller or Butler?
Bueller.
Bueller. All right, on board Spree. She is our next rider. Here she comes. And she gets a time of 18.303 for Emily Bueller. Tina Hartwig on Fergie. And here she comes into the arena. Tina Hartwig. And coming down toward the finish, 17.823 for Tina Hartwig and Fergie. That brings up Patty Hovland, and Patty's on Hezenik Bar Legend. Look for a pretty good time here. Patty won the polls on Hezenik Bar Legend. Let's see how she does here. Right hand barrel, now out of the left hand barrel, now up to the third barrel, and the left turn. Now head for the finish line. We're looking for a really good time here, 15.818. And that is our new leader by about 0.07 of a second. So Patty Hovland takes over the lead, and the tractors take over the arena. As they're dragging the arena, we'll take another timeout. You're tuned to Open 4D Barrels on NLWN-TV.
Did you know dragging chains can spark a wildfire?
Only you can prevent wildfires.
All right, we're back here in Menomonie at the Dunn County Fairgrounds, continuing the Open 4D Barrels. We've got riders 41 through 45 coming up. And Sherry Hughes on Benito Success is our first rider. Here comes Sherry. Right barrel. Benito Success running pretty hard. Now they go up toward that third barrel. And Sherry Hughes gets a 16.485. Dan Farron on Max's French Dandy is our next rider. You know, Dan, the difference between a really outstanding time and an okay time is just the tiniest amount.
Man, this group is so close. You just never know.
They really are. But now you got to get into the 15s if you want to place in the top three. Little hesitation around that third barrel. 16.874. Cricket Gintner. Cricket's riding Logo. We've seen these Gintners a few times, haven't we?
Yeah, the Gintners and the Whites come with a few horses. And they come from the Eau Claire, Wisconsin area.
And here goes Cricket. He's heading for a pretty good time. 15.907.
Good run for Cricket.
That's a really good run for Cricket. It will put her into third place. And Jasmine Warner is up on board Gypsy. And Jasmine Warner around that right barrel. Around the left barrel. Gypsy took a little bit of hesitation step there. Maybe we'll call that the Euro step like they do in basketball. It's kind of what it reminded me of. And so Jasmine gets a 19.097. And then Loven Hadlick on Stan.
What's your thought about the Euro step?
Huh?
What's your thought about the Euro step?
Well, the little hesitation step that Logo did going around that turn, or Gypsy, I mean, did around that left barrel.
Yeah, the referees don't know what to think about the Euro step in basketball. High school basketball, at least.
And here we go, 17.434 with Loven Hadlick on Stan. And looks like they're getting ready to drag the arena again. It is that time. So we'll be back with the next group of 5. Well, maybe they're going to take a little more thorough drag this time, pull the barrels and water the arena. So I hear the water truck coming. So we're going to take a timeout. You're watching NBHA Open 4D Barrels from the Dunn County Fairgrounds in Menomonie on NLWN-TV.
If you love them enough to relearn math so you can teach them math, then surely you'll check nhtsa.gov/the-right-seat to make sure they're correctly buckled in the back seat.
And we are back here. It took a little while this time to groom the arena after it had been torn up as much as it had with the first group of riders, about half of them. So we have riders 46 through 50 coming up. And Mary Slugga on Bueno is our next rider. Again, that time to beat is Patty Hovlands at 15.818. That's getting down there, and that might be pretty tough for people to beat, but you never know.
Yeah, any horse can get beat on any day.
Well, now you sound like the NFL announcers. And what do they say? It's why they play the game. Here goes Mary. What's the rule for hands on the saddle horn when you're riding barrels, Dan?
Case.
17.279 for Mary. Haley Hainstead is next up, and she's going to ride red. So what do you think, Dan?
All right. So how it should go is as you come into the arena, you should be riding two hands. When you come to
the reins.
On the reins.
Yep.
Get to the barrel, grab your horn.
One hand.
And then go around the barrel, take off, go back to two hands on the reins, get the next barrel, drop down to one hand on the horn. That's just so you don't go flying off.
Right.
So, yep.
Now, is there a rule about not grabbing with two hands on the saddle horn? Or is it just not a good idea?
Just not a good idea.
Because you were talking a little earlier to someone about how you got talked into riding barrels by your wife, and all of a sudden you had two hands on the saddle horn and you were hanging on for dear life.
Oh my gosh. I gotta give all these people at barrel race a lot of credit. It's not as easy as it looks.
And she got a 17.881. That was Haley Hainstead. Tammy Whitty on board 7 is our next rider. That could be Tammy White with a Y.
Oh, but it is White. Yep. 7. Tammy White.
That's like the James Bond movie with Willard White and so Tammy White on board 7. And heading over to that right barrel. And the left barrel, it wobbles but stays up. And the third barrel, oh, down it went, and she gets on no time. She would have had a 17.621. So that's going to bring up McKenna Anderson. McKenna's riding Razor. McKenna Anderson on Razor. And McKenna does that left barrel first. Over to the right. Third barrel. And we have a 17.578. That's going to bring up Julie Cole in Straw Flying Fit. You know, some of these names are tongue twisters. Straw Flying Fit. With Julie Cole on board. Here she comes. Julie had a 17.611 on Ms. Jingles, Mr. Bojingles. And this one, a 16.709 on Straw Flying Fit. And that means it's time to drag the arena once again. And we have no change in the leaderboard. Third place is Cricket Gittner on Lego. Second place, Jenna Grosky on DF Alive and Striking. And first place, Patty Hovland on Heza Nick Bar Legend. And while they drag the arena, we'll take a quick time out. You're tuned to 4D Barrels on NLWN-TV.
Loomis Lazy L Tack and Trailer in Mondovi, Wisconsin is the best place around for all your horse tack and supply needs. Their family-owned and operated tack store offers Montana silversmith jewelry, horse tack, equipment, vet supplies, gift items, and antiques. Call Loomis Tack and Trailer at 1-800-926-5309 or visit them at W394 Highway 10 in Mondovi, Wisconsin.
Well, Rick Olson along with Dan Petchow and Monroe up on the camera, and she's hanging in there tough. She's up there in the sunshine, and it's kind of toasty up there, but hats off to Ann. She's doing a great job up there. And she thumps the ceiling on us just to say, you bet! Hey, we're ready for riders 51 through 55. We'll start with Kendra Manuel. And Kendra is on Merlot and Ice. Kendra is how they say it. And she knocks over that first barrel, gets some whiplash as she goes around the barrel. Yeah, she's going to get a no time. That's a young one for the open 40 barrel. She would have had a 20.941. That's going to bring up Jim Risselman. And Jim's riding Elite Strut. Still waiting on Jim Risselman. Here he comes. First two barrels are clean. Going around that third barrel.
Should be a halfway decent run.
A 16.468. 16.468. Missy Doms is our next rider. I kind of like the name of this horse. Streaking by on the little guy. And here comes Missy. And the first barrel goes down. She would have had a 16.374, but it's a no time. Jody Elwood on. I can't tell what you got here, Dan. Something Thunderbird.
SFR Thunderbird.
Okay, well, that's, in all fairness, that's what it looked like. I just didn't believe what it said. SFR Thunderbird is the horse. Jody Elwood is the rider. And here comes Jody. To this point, I think some of the difference in some of these riders is how fast they're willing to approach that first barrel. Jody gets a 17.256.
Yeah, you want to set up that first barrel, pretty correctly.
And Lynette Beckman is our final rider of this group of riders in the Open 4D. And she's riding Fame to Burn. She nudges that second barrel, but it stays up. Gets around the third barrel. And she gets a 17.428. So as they get ready to drag the arena, we have no change in the leaderboard. Third place is Cricket Gittner on Lego. Second place, Jenna Grosky on AF Alive and Striking. And first place with a time of 15.818, Patty Hovland on Heza, Knitball Legend. We'll get to my final page of riders, well, final full page of riders in the Open 4D right after this timeout on NLWN-TV.
Let NLWN-TV and the Northern Light Webcasting Network take you out to the ball game. Our next game will be on June 27th when the Cavaliers take on the Eau Claire Rivermen in a doubleheader from Carson Park. Live coverage on the Northern Light Webcasting Network audio service and on NLWN-TV begins with the In the Dugout show at 12:10 p.m. That's live Cavalier baseball on Sunday, June 27th on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
And we're back here at the Dunn County Fairgrounds with the NBHA Open 4D barrels being brought to you by the Menomonie Saddle Club. We want to thank them for their help today. And our first rider,
Kate Whiting.
That is Kate Whiting on Shooter. So, you know, this is an example of what I was talking about on the last rider. She approached that first barrel a little quicker than some of those other riders were. And she's turning that third barrel in right around 11 seconds. 16.105. Pretty good time for Kate Whiting. So Courtney Solberg on board Chester is our next rider. Courtney Solberg, kind of waiting for her to make her appearance. Here she comes. Got a little bit wide on that first barrel. Second barrel was a little better. About 13 seconds at the turn. And 17.972. That was for Courtney Solberg. McKenny Kaczynski on A Little Bit of Attitude is our next one. I've had grandkids with that little bit of attitude on occasion. I love them all dearly, but they sure can turn it on when they want to. So here comes McKenna. Again, making the turn right around 12 seconds. 17.135. Sherry Wright, Cushion of Fame is our next pair, rider and horse. Gets around that second barrel. Cushion of Fame gave a little bit of rearing as it goes around those barrels. 17.523 for Sherry Wright. Jenna Scott would be the last rider of this group of 5, and Jenna is riding shotgun. Here she comes. Hard through the gate over to the first barrel. Second barrel goes down. It's unfortunate. She would have had a time of 16.967. So that means they're going to drag the arena again. And while they do that, we'll take this quick timeout. And you're tuned to 4D Open Barrels and Poles from the Dunn County Fairgrounds in Menomonie on NLWN-TV.
Hi, this is Ashley Larson, and I'm here if you or your horse are looking for any training in barrel racing and pole bending. We here at Larson Ranch are here to help. I bring my experience as a national contender in collegiate and high school rodeo events to Larson Ranch just south of Mondovi. I specialize in training for barrel racing, pole bending, as well as other rodeo events like goat tying and breakaway roping. Our training has helped our students place in the top 4 in the state as well as top finishes in the nation. Check out Larson Ranch on our Facebook page for more contact information. We're excited to see you at Larson Ranch.
And we're back here in Menomonie at the Dunn County Fairgrounds. They just did a quick drag of the arena, so we're ready for riders number 61 through 65. That's Heidi Heitman is our first rider, and Striding Willie is the horse's name. Here she comes. Heidi Heitman. And she heads for home. 16.545. Sierra Steele on FR. Can you see me now? FR. What's that stand for, Dan?
FR. Not for sure.
Well, here she goes. Sierra Steele. $16.601. Kelly Jacobson is our next rider, and Kelly is going to be on board Breezy. And here goes Kelly. And she gets a 17.043. Kelly Paschal on Illuminator Bedouin. Or is that Beduino?
Beduino, yeah.
Beduino?
Okay. Beduino is a racehorse.
Oh, okay. All right. So Illuminator Beduino. Stacy Paschal. And here she comes. 16.820. And our final rider in this group of 5 will be Mike Gintner. And Mike is on Two-Step and Fame.
Fame is also a racehorse. Dash to Fame.
Okay.
Dash to cash. Out of Dash to Cash.
Mike Gintner gets a little bit wide in that first barrel. These times are good enough that you can't make a mistake like that, can you? He goes a little wide into the third barrel as well. And decides, no, we're just going to slow some things down.
Yeah, that's not his usual horse he rides. I think he lost his horse to his son. This year, so.
28.719. But he kind of shut him down after he went wide around that third barrel. And it's time to drag the arena. So while they do that, we'll take a quick timeout. You're tuned to 40 Open Barrels from the Dunn County Fairgrounds on NLWN-TV.
Roll over. Chance high five. All right.
When you adopt a shelter pet, you discover all the things that make them unique.
And your mother and I am totally a hot person. Right, guys? Thanks for being honest.
They're a little bit of a lot of things, but they're all pure love. Adopt pure love at theshelterpetproject.org.
We're back with some more 40 Open Barrels. NBHA style from the Dunn County Fairgrounds in Menomonie. And we're ready for the next group of 5 riders, starting with 66 through 70. And this is Dylan Michaels. Takes that left barrel. Then she heads over to the right barrel. She's on Charm Sally Done It. I don't know what Sally did, but she done it. Got awfully wide coming around that third barrel. And she gets a 19.207. That's all it takes to get a pretty decent score to all of a sudden balloon is get a little wide. Brenna Anderson is next up, and Brenna's on Sage.
Yeah, this is a tough group. I mean, all 89 of them, you know, it's just...
There's good riders here.
Yeah.
And even the not real experienced riders are showing they can stay with them. Brenna Anderson on board Sage. Heading up to the third barrel. She gets around it, heads for home. 17.161. That'll bring up Polly Hoy. And Polly is riding Stevie. It's kind of spelled like Stevie Nicks from Fleetwood Mac. I wonder if that's anywhere where they got the name. S-T-E-V-I. Boy, that lady could sing.
Yeah, she got it.
So Polly Hoy on board. Takes that third barrel. Got about 13 on the turn. 17.319. It appears, just from my watching, it takes about 4.5 seconds to get from the third barrel to the finish line. Megan Widstrom on Daisy Duke. We saw Daisy Duke in the polls.
And what's the leading time right now?
It is 15.818. Has a Nick Bar Legend with Patty Hovland. And Daisy Duke didn't. She broke the timer. This will be in no time for Megan. Now let's see if she makes Daisy Duke finish the course. It's always a good idea to do that. It's good training time for the horse. And they get in with what would have been, well, a broken timer, so we don't know that. So we'll just move on. Brings up Paige Hayes, and Paige is riding Cowboy. And she takes the third barrel very wide. 17.583 for Paige Hayes. And it's time to drag the arena once again. And there's no change on the leaderboard. So we're still looking at Cricket Gintner in third place on Lego. And Jenna Grosky in second place on VF Alive and Striking. And currently in first place, Patty Hovland on Heza Nick Bar Legend with a time of 15.818. And we'll see if any of this next group of riders can challenge those as you're watching 40 Open Barrels on NLWN-TV.
To get your lawn or garden to perform like you want, you first need to know about your soil. That's where Midwest Environmental Consultants can help. Their soil testing service can give you a complete rundown on your soil's nutrition and health. They test for nitrogen levels, phosphorus, potash, micronutrients, minerals, pH, and organic matter. Let Midwest Environmental Consultants put you in control of your soil's health. Call Midwest Environmental Consultants at 715-586-1302. That's Midwest Environmental Consultants, soil testers for the Chippewa Valley.
Well, we're getting ready now for riders 71 through 75 of 89 in this Open 4D Barrels. Just a couple more drags left. It's funny how we count time going by how many times they drag the arena.
Yeah.
All right, rider number 71 is Georgetta Brown, and she is on Doolittle. And here she comes, heading toward that left barrel. Now over to the right. About 12 seconds when she turns the top. And a 17.439 for Georgetta Brown. Sarah Drake comes up next. Sarah is riding Glory. Here she comes. And And this appears to be just one of those times when the rider is teaching the horse the pattern. So while Sarah and Glory go around, I want to remind you that our next equestrian activities, we're going to bring you an NBHA local district show sponsored by the Wisconsin Girls Barrel Racing Association from the Double H Arena in Mondovi. And this event will be recorded live on June 26th, and our coverage will be broadcast on June 28th. That's a Monday evening. It's a week from tomorrow, or a week from tonight, I should say, beginning at 7 p.m. Hey, don't forget also we have Cavalier Baseball coming up Sunday the 27th when the Cavaliers host the Eau Claire Rivermen in a doubleheader. We'll simulcast both of those games on the Northern Light Webcasting Network audio service and on our YouTube channel right here, NLWN-TV. And the Dugout Show will be at 12:10 p.m. live play-by-play. We'll begin at 12:30. So Sarah got a 60.489. And that brings up Katie Heitman. And Katie is riding Running a Hot Pepper. We are at rider number 73 of 89. Following this, we will have the youth and the seniors. There aren't that many riders in either of those. There goes Katie. And she goes around that top barrel, or third barrel. And gets a time of 17.286. Tina Hartwig is next. And Tina's riding Jazzy. And then after Tina, Patty Hovland with her other horse has the ability to challenge for those up front positions. Here goes Tina on Jazzy. Came out hard toward that first barrel. Turned the corner at about 11. 16.515. Tina Hartwig. That brings up Patty Hovland on Manners, Jet Lady. Manners, Jet Lady. Ran the poles and was like 0.03 of a second off of the top three. That's how close they were. There they go. Nice tight turn on the first barrel. Nice tight turn on the second barrel. Making the turn at 10 seconds on that third barrel. 15.389. 15.389. And guess what, folks? That is your new leader. 15.389. Puts her into the lead. So Patty Hovland has the top two spots, and it's time to drag the arena again. So while they do that, we'll take this time out on NLWN-TV.
What to expect when you're expecting a teenager.
Today we're talking about how to wake up your teen, and this works literally every time.
Good kisses. Good kisses. You heard how loud
I heard. It wasn't you. Yeah. It was the...
Is that bacon?
You don't have to know it all to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
Okay, we are back here at the Dunn County Fairgrounds. They just got done with a quick drag of the arena, and we're getting ready for riders number 76 through 80. And Sherry Hughes will be the first rider, and it's MML Speediolina. Again, we have a new time to beat. Still Patty Hovland, but it's on Manners Lady Jet with a 15.389. So we're waiting on Sherry Hughes. Not saying that Sherry did. Oh, here she goes. And Sherry makes first two barrels very nicely. She made that turn right about the 11-second mark. 15.935, a great time. Just about a tenth of a second, in fact, not even a full tenth of a second off of the lead, or not off the lead, off of the top three. Canis Bodsberg is our next rider. Kansas? C-A-N-S-I-S.
Must be Kansas.
Kansas, it must be what it is. Sorry if that's not the way you pronounce it. Bodsberg, onboard Henry. Is the next rider, and she's in the arena. Whoops, there goes. Well, they were giving a little help out of the arena for Sherry Hughes. Here comes Kansas, sort of. Trying to steer the horse into the arena. They're giving it a lead into the arena. Here it comes, and into the arena it goes. She got real close to the start line, but didn't cross it. Now she does. First barrel's clean. Henry knocks over the second barrel, and it gives a good kick for measure. So we get no time for Kansas. It would have been a 17.115. It's going to bring up Danielle Grunke, and Danielle's riding Phoenix. Danielle Grunke. There she goes. Onboard Phoenix. She gets around the third barrel. It's going to be a clean run. 21.384. That brings up JC Oberly, and JC is riding Doc. Still waiting for JC. And here she goes. It's one of the young riders. She's got a nice ride going. Round at 12 seconds. 16.318. That's a really nice time. Patty Hovland better not look in a rearview mirror because objects might be bigger than they appear or closer than they appear, and JC Oberly might be right there. Good ride for JC, 16.318. That brings up Karen Scott. Come in on fire is the name of the horse. Taking her time. She's around that first barrel, now we're on the second barrel. Up to the third barrel. Comes around at 14 seconds. 19.549. So it should be time to drag the arena again. And I see the drivers hopping up into their tractors. So we're going to see the arena get dragged again. And we only have 9 more riders. So one more drag after this, and we'll set up for the end of the open 4D barrels. You're tuned to NLWN-TV.
You're tuned to the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV. We use advertising revenue to make this service available to you. If you have a business and would like to get your message out to our ever-increasing audience, give us a call at 715-563-1749. We'll be happy to discuss our budget-friendly advertising packages with you. Get your business noticed on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV by calling 715-563-1749.
All right, we're now ready for riders 81 through 85. And that first rider that we have is Megan Matosh. Matosh. We'll blame it on the rider again. Bullies Easy on the Eyes is the horse. And she gets around the first barrel and the second barrel. And up around that third barrel. Coming on down, 23.301. Lindsay Osborne is the next rider, and Lindsay is riding Little Shoesy. There she comes. Lindsay Osborne on Little Shoesy. Around the bend. And the third barrel. 16.109. That was just about in that run of the leaders. Stacia Beatles is going to be riding Franklin. Yeah, that 16.109 is, let's see, about 3/10 off the top three. And this is Stacia Beatles. .604, another pretty good time. Kayla Waters, Just a Mate is the name of the horse. Kayla Waters is who we're waiting on. Here she comes. Kayla Waters. On board Just a Mate. Having some discussions with Just a Mate. And here they go. She gets around the first barrel nice and clean. And the second barrel. Heading up to the third barrel, coming around at 12 seconds. And we're going to get a 17.714. I didn't hear what she said to the horse as she came in.
Either.
Tammy Overly on another horse here. This time it's Megawatt Smarts for Tammy Oberly. So we're waiting on Tammy. And here they go. And it's around that first barrel in about 2 seconds. Now around the second barrel. This could get interesting, Dan. She's at 10 to 11 seconds going around. 15.864. Nice time. That will at least put her into second place, or third place. That's what it does. It puts her into third place. And so they're going to drag the arena again. And we do have a little bit of a change now. Third place is Tammy Oberly on Megawatt Smarts. Second place is Patty Hovland on Hezenik Bar Legend. And first place, also Patty Hovland on Manners Jet Lady with a time of 15.389. And we'll be back with the final riders of the Open 4D Barrels right after this timeout. You're tuned to NLWN-TV.
Eva Marie smoked 12,000 packs of cigarettes over 15 years. She quit, and now there's a new lung cancer screening that could save her life. You stopped smoking. Now start screening. No matter how much you smoked, early detection could save you. Talk to your doctor or learn more at savedbythescan.org.
And welcome back to the Dunn County Fairgrounds. Rick Olson here, along with Dan Petchow and Monroe on camera. Look at that beautiful shot she has for us today. And we're getting ready for the final 4 riders in the Open 4D Barrels. And of course, after that, we have the Youth Barrels and the Senior Barrels. So, our next rider will be Jill Charland, and she's on Just Hollywood Gold. I'm not sure if that's JST or Just. I don't know what you were trying to write there, Dan.
JST.
JST Hollywood Gold. So we take a look at the starter gate and wait for her to come in. And in she goes. JST Hollywood Gold. Jill Charland on the back. Oh, and JST Hollywood Gold. Turn gold into lead on that one. It's kind of the opposite of what you're supposed to do according to Archimedes, isn't it? And Jill's having a difficult time convincing JST Hollywood Gold what it's supposed to be doing. And a 36.154 for a time. And Kendra Manuel on Bailey H. King is our next rider. Evidently, Kendra didn't realize she was coming up quite as soon as she thought she was. So goes and hops on a horse, and here we go. Here goes Kendra. And she makes the next turn. She's making some turns pretty nicely here. 12 seconds on the third turn. And 17.596. 17.596 for Kendra. That's going to bring Sherry Wright for on board VF Secret Mistress. Sherry Wright. And here we go. Up around the third turn at about 12 seconds. 16.213. Very respectable time. Our final rider in the Open 4D is Jenna Scott. And she's riding Just a Special Fire. And so here goes Jenna. Around the second barrel and up around the third barrel, and she gets a time of 19.480 for Jenna Scott. Well, that's going to bring a wrap to the Open 4D barrels. Here's what we have. Tammy Oberly finishes in third place on Megawatt Smarts. Second place went to Patty Hovland on Hezenick Bar Legend. And first place also went to Patty Hovland on Manners Lady Jet. So they're going to drag the arena, and then we will be back with the youth barrels, and that'll be followed by the senior barrels. All that coming up next after this timeout. You're tuned to NLWN-TV.
Tune into NLWN-TV on Monday, June 28th, as we bring an NBHA Barrels and Poles event sponsored by the Wisconsin Girls Barrel Racing Association from the Double H Arena in Mondovi, Wisconsin. This event will be recorded on Saturday, June 26th. Our coverage will begin at 7 p.m. on Monday the 28th. NLWN-TV is your home for equestrian events in Wisconsin and Minnesota.
And we're back here at the Dunn County Fairgrounds. We're about ready to start the youth barrels. Now we have a list of riders here that's 19 long, but we won't have 19 riders riding, because some of them will carry over their times from the Open. So we're going to do the best we can to let you know who is riding. But here we have a gentleman with the best seat in the house sitting up there on top of his trailer. That's a great way to watch these events. We're going to take a watch down in the starting gate area right now. And we're waiting for Brooke Barthman. Remains Lady Fallon. And here she comes. And that's going to be a 16.620. We'll see who they say the next rider is. Okay, we have Olivia Sanborn is up. Babe in Total Control is the name of the horse. We just don't know who's doing the carryover time, so that might make things a little difficult. We'll follow it as close as we can. And here we go. And knocked over the first barrel, so it'll be a no time. And that, of course, is unfortunate, because she would have had a pretty decent time. 17.353. And that's going to bring up Caitlin Telejohn. And Caitlin's riding Bell. And here goes Caitlin around that first barrel. And the second barrel. Third barrel, heading for home. 17.088. Wait to see who's next. That was Caitlin Telejohn. Okay, Hannah Beers is our next rider. And waiting to see. Here comes Hannah. And here she goes to the right barrel. Cinco hesitate a little going around the barrel. And around that left barrel. She nudged it, it stayed up. Around the third barrel and heading for home. 18.966. Audrey Sanborn is next on Scooby-Boo. Still waiting for the tower to call. I think they said Audrey Sanborn is next. Here she comes. Audrey Sanborn. Right, left, and then the left turn around the third. And here she comes. 16.823. That currently puts her in second place of those who are riding. Okay, so it's time to drag the arena. So our current leader is Brooke Barthman with Remains Lady Fallon on 16.6. Wind keeps blowing it over, 620. And Brooke Barthman is going to get things started again after the drag. And with this drag happening, we're going to take a quick time out. You're tuned to NLWN-TV.
When I was 10, my mom got deported. We had a difficult time, and I feel that's why I didn't get to finish school. My husband is really supportive in a way that he pushed me to go back to school.
She wants to have a career so her kids can look up to her.
They both keep me motivated to go to school, and they see that if I do it, like, they can do it too, you know? I feel that everything's possible.
Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org.
And we're back here at the Dunn County Fairgrounds in Menomonie, Wisconsin. NBHA barrels and poles, and we're doing the youth barrels now. Riders 6 through 10. And we have Brooke Barthman to lead things off. This time she's riding, bringing 60 back. And Brooke actually has the lead with Remains Lady Fallon. She was at a 16.620. So bringing 60 back is her next horse. Here she comes. And off to the second barrel. Whoops! Almost went the wrong way around it. You know, those who are 60, you just can't trust them to make the right directions. Speaking for myself there. And Brooke gets a time of 22.830. Bram Gintner on Whitey is the name of the horse. So now we're waiting for Bram. And Bram gets around the first barrel. Bram is another one of those young riders. Of course, this is the youth class, but he's at the lower end of the youth class. And he gets a 17.461. That keeps him just a little bit out of the top three. McKenna Kaczynski, Sub-Zero Jack is the next rider. Here she goes. Hard towards that first barrel on the left side. Had to settle things down going around that second barrel, but did okay with that. And nudges the third barrel. It stays up. She'll get a time, 17.933. Jasmine Warner is next up. Jasmine's riding Fit. So we're looking for Jasmine. There she goes. first barrel, heading for that second barrel on fit. And the third barrel coming back toward home now. 19.633. And that brings up McKenna Kaczynski on a little bit of attitude. This is McKenna. And a 20.530. So as they get ready to drag the arena, there was no change in the leaderboard. Third place is still Caitlin Telejohn on Bell. Second place is Audrey Sandburn on Scooby-Doo. And first place is Brooke Barthman on Remains Fine Lady Fallon with a time of 16.620. We'll be back with some more riders in the youth barrels right after this timeout on NLWN-TV.
I'm Jenny Garth, and as a mother of 3, I know kids worry about a lot of things. Getting enough food to eat shouldn't be one of them. But here in America, that is a real worry for 1 in 5 children. This is unacceptable, and something Feeding America is working to solve. Through a nationwide network of food banks, Feeding America serves virtually every community in the United States, including yours. See how you can help your community. Visit feedingamerica.org. Together, we can solve hunger. Together, we're Feeding America.
And we're back here at the Dunn County Fairgrounds. It's been a beautiful afternoon of equestrian riding, and we're doing the youth barrels right now, and we are looking for riders number 11 through 15. We have 19 listed all together. Dylan Michaels with Willie's Fancy Girl is the first rider up. Here goes Dylan. Around that second barrel. Around that third barrel at about 12 seconds. 17.635. And Leuven Hadlick with Stan is our next rider. Here goes Leuven. He almost jumped that barrel, nudged it, did not go over. "13 seconds as he goes around the third barrel. And we're looking at 18.964 for Leuven. Joseph Musinski on Wiley is next up. Joseph Musinski on Wiley. Right barrel is clear. Left barrel is clear. Third barrel is clear. And here he comes. 17.418. for Joseph Musinski on Wiley. Haley Hainstead on red is next up. Haley Hainstead. Haley Hainstead. Still waiting. And the horse is not really wanting to cooperate coming into the arena. Our camera person Ann gets a good view of the help they're trying to give Haley going in. Finally they get it convinced to go in. And gets around that first barrel. And gets hung up in the second barrel. Almost lost its balance. And Haley's got to get it settled down. So we get a no time. And she's going to take the horse right off. It seemed a little, after going over the barrel and tripping over it a little bit, like it just about went down. So I think it's probably a good idea that she take the horse off for a bit. Get things settled down. Tara Sanborn is next rider up. And here goes Tara. Tara's on board Gino's Smart Little Stiv. And here she comes. 17.134. Just about a tenth of a second off of the top three. And that means it's time to drag the arena once again. So we'll be back with the final four youth riders right after this timeout. You're tuned to NBHA Poles and Barrels on NLWN-TV.
What do you think you're doing, Kevin?
Was just gonna drive home.
There are several warning signs present that you shouldn't be driving.
Like hearing voices?
Like your text-to-emoji ratio?
Oh man, the selfies. Selfie, nailed it.
We all have warning signs that let us know that we're probably not okay to drive. Mine is pretending to be your subconscious.
Craig, come on man, let's put a ride home.
And we're back here at the Dunn County Fairgrounds in Menomonie with the Youth Barrels. This is all sponsored by the Menomonie Saddle Club. And we have the final four riders in the Youth Barrels. Bram Gintner on board Sugar is our next rider, and we're looking for Bram in the starting gate area now. Here comes Bram. And he knocked over that second barrel. So it'll be a no time for Bram. And it would have been an 18.135. So that's going to bring up Dylan Michaels. And Dylan's riding Charms Salty Dunnett. Is that Salty?
Salty.
Okay. You kind of crossed your L there too. Kind of looks like Sadie.
Sadie.
Yeah, Charm Salty Dunnett. For Bram, check that. Dylan Michaels. Dylan also rode Willie's Fancy Girl just a little while ago. And when she did that, she got a 17.635. And here she goes. And around that third barrel, gets a little wide. And 19.135. That brings up Kendra Manuel, and Kendra is going to be riding Merlot and Ice. Kendra Manuel, here she comes. One of those young riders. Gets around the first barrel. And the second barrel. Up to the third barrel. Here she comes. Clean ride. 20.931. Now on our sheet, we have McKenna Elliott coming up next. McKenna Elliott. Well, the towers say Mackenzie Elliott. And we're waiting to see if she's actually here to run. Here she comes. Mackenzie or McKenna Elliott. We don't know the name of the horse. And she's going to break the timer, so it's going to be no time. So that's going to wrap things up in the youth barrels. Third place goes to Audrey Sanborn. Second place to Caitlin Telejohn. And first place to Brooke Barthman, who laid down a time at the beginning as a first rider, and nobody could touch it, 16.620. Now let's see if they're going to drag. I believe they probably will, because after they do, we will have these senior barrels, and that's going to wrap up our day, Dan. We've got tractors firing up down at the far end, and so they're going to drag the arena one more time, and then we'll have senior barrels when we come back right after this timeout. You're tuned to NLWN-TV.
Don't wait. Communicate. Make your emergency plan today.
And we're back here at the Dunn County Fairgrounds, just about ready to wrap things up for our day of equestrian things, our NBHA events. We still have the senior barrels to go through, and they just got done dragging the arena, getting it ready for the seniors to ride out there. We have 4 seniors in the senior barrels, so we just have this one group to go through, and then we'll take another time out after that, and then we'll come back and Dan and I will wrap things up. I'll tell you what, Dan, it's been a beautiful day here, though.
Oh, yeah, perfect sun, nice little breeze.
And I don't think Ann got too hot up on top. So, and we have some riders sitting over there by the fence,
Here we go,
waiting to watch these seniors. And coming out first is John Erickson on Regal Woodrow. Regal Woodrow. John Erickson on his back. He rode in the poles. And he gets a 17.943. I think it was the poles I saw him in. That brings up Dan Farron, and Dan is riding Max's French Lady. Like I said, we're waiting. Dan Farron on Max's French Lady.
Here he comes.
Here he comes, and evidently we have some changes in the seniors too. And here comes Dan. Makes a turn at the top at about 11.5 seconds. And a 16.771 puts him in the lead. Waiting to hear this next rider. Danielle Grunke is riding Phoenix. Clears that second barrel. And a time of 21.375. Now we've got to listen for the names of these riders.
Jill Schreiber.
I believe that they said it was Jill Charlotte riding. And then, did they say Tammy White?
Tammy White's on deck.
Clears the second barrel. And the third barrel. .002. That brings up Tammy White is the final competitor in this class. Tammy has a nice run looking. Oh, but she knocked over the barrel. So she gets a no time. So that's going to wrap up the senior barrels. Third place went to Jill Charlotte. Second place to John Erickson. And first place to Dan Farron on Max's French Lady with a 16.771. Well, Dan, that's going to wrap it up today. We're going to take a brief time out, and then we'll be back with all the results from our action today right here on NLWN-TV.
Maybe you can make retirement happen. After all, you made her college years happen. Opening that education savings account when she was little. Spearheading a campus tour. And another, and another, and another, and another. Bam! Deciphering financial aid. She was like, what? But now she's like, you aced planning for college. Now get the tips you need to get on track at aceyourretirement.org.
And we're back here at the Dunn County Fairgrounds. Rick Olson along with Dan Petschow and trying to talk over the roar of the tractors as they're dragging the arena. So we just finished some NBHA poles and barrels. And Dan, why don't you tell us what happened in the pole bending?
Yeah, in the 2D pole bending, third place goes to Reggie Gibson on Dream Sierra with a 23.751. Second place went to Whitney Lukey on Josie with a 23.369. And in first place, that went to Patty Hovland on He's a Nick Bar Legend with a 21.896.
Okay, and then we went to the barrels, and the rest of the day was spent doing barrels. And we started with the Pee-wee barrels. That's always fun to watch. You see guys out there riding. Third place went to Gracie Olson, and she was on Phoenix. Second place went to Morley Gintner on Bow. And first place went to Kennedy Manuel on Trigger, and Kennedy's time was 18.632. How about the Open?
In the NBHA Open 40, third place goes to Tammy Oberly on Megawatt Smarts with a 15.864. Second place went to Patty Hovland on He's a Nick Bar Legend with a 15.818. And first place went to Patty Hovland on Manners Lady Jet with a 15.389.
And that takes us to the NBHA Youth Barrels. Third place went to Audrey Sandburn on Scooby-Boo. Second place, Caitlin Telejohn on Bell. And first place went to Brooke Arthman on Remains Lady Phelan with a 16.620. And then to wrap things up today, we had the NBHA Seniors. And third place went to Jill Charlotte. We don't have the horse's name there. Second place went to John Erickson on Rigo Woodrow. And first place to Dan Farron on Max's French's Lady, 16.771. So that's going to wrap it up for us. Hey, Dan, we have more equestrian. A week from today, we're going to be on the air with some more equestrian, because next Saturday, we're going to be over at the Double H Arena.
Yeah, Double H Arena, Mondovi, Wisconsin.
And we're going to be getting that NBA local district show. And of course, that's sponsored by the Wisconsin Girls Barrel Racing Association. And we'll record that on the 26th, and then our coverage on the 28th will begin at 7 p.m. Hey, you know what else we have? We got a little Cavalier baseball. We got our next Cavalier game to be broadcast on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV will be Sunday, the 27th, when the Cavs host the Eau Claire Rivermen from Carson Park. Yeah, it's a beautiful view from Carson Park.
Yep, great facility there.
And we're going to simulcast both games on the Northern Light Webcasting Network audio service and our YouTube channel, NLWN-TV. In the Dugout show will be at 12:10, and live play-by-play will begin at 12:30.
Yeah, and then Wednesday, we have baseball. The Northern Light Webcasting Network audio service and NLWN-TV are excited to bring you Wednesday night baseball this Wednesday, June 30th, when the Eau Claire Cavaliers travel to Osseo to take on the Osseo Merchants. Coverage on Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV will begin at 7:10 p.m. with In the Dugout. We also plan to carry the fireworks following the game.
That's going to be a blast.
Yeah, that'll be great.
We've never carried fireworks before. I'm curious to see how that's going to work out, but we're going to do it. But so we got a lot coming up here on NLWN-TV, and don't forget, 1 week from tonight, we'll have all the action from the Double H Arena down in Mondovi. So for our camera person, Ann Monroe up on top out in the sunshine, and she's probably roasting a tad bit, and we'll have to cool her down a little bit. And Dan Petchow, this is Rick Olson. Have a wonderful rest of your day, and we will see you next week from the Double H. You've been tuned to NBHA Poles and Barrels on NLWN-TV.
Let NLWN-TV and the Northern Light Webcasting Network take you out to the ball game. Our next game will be on June 27th when the Cavaliers take on the Eau Claire Rivermen in a doubleheader from Carson Park. Live coverage on the Northern Light Webcasting Network audio service and on NLWN-TV begins with the In the Dugout show at 12:10 p.m. That's live Cavalier baseball on Sunday, June 27th on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
Tune into NLWN-TV on Monday, June 28th, as we bring an NBHA Barrels and Poles event sponsored by the Wisconsin Girls Barrel Racing Association from the Double H Arena in Mondovi, Wisconsin. This event will be recorded on Saturday, June 26th. Our coverage will begin at 7 p.m. on Monday the 28th. NLWN-TV is your home for equestrian events in Wisconsin and Minnesota.
You've been watching the National Barrel Horse Association Poles and Barrels on NLWN-TV. This program was recorded live on June 19th at the Dunn County Fairgrounds in Menomonie, Wisconsin. This has been a production of NLWN-TV.